on in. I know. The title was like, wait a minute, I'm not crazy. It's menopause. Yep, I told you this channel was all about midlife, mindset, and menopause. And I haven't done a lot of daily spices on menopause. Yes, 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 yes. The Empowered Midlife is talking about menopause this morning. Why? Because you can see it this morning. Y'all come on in. I want to share with you how I was able to identify my hormonal shift. Yep, it took me a minute, Shakara. I had to sit down and do what I've been telling y'all to do, rest, in order for me to put the pieces together to go, wait a minute, something is going on, and how I was able to do it. I told y'all in midlife, it's all about us. It's all about our rest. It's all about us focusing on us because what? Our life depends on it. And sometimes that is literal. Your life depends on it. So I hope you had an amazing long weekend this weekend, Tanya. I hope you did some things for yourself. I hope you got some rest. I hope you spent some time relaxing. I hope you spent some time reminiscing. I hope you spent some time focusing on you. I certainly did, and I wanted this video this morning to be about what I learned about me over this long weekend. So it took me a few minutes, well, not a few minutes, it took me a couple of hours to kind of just really sit and just really go through what I had been experiencing since March, y'all, since March. So back in March, Mika, I started getting a rash on my upper shoulders, on my chest area right here, on my upper arms. It came about to where you see the sleeve of my t-shirt here. That's how this rash had come about. And that was back in early March. Well, the rash started itching, and I was like, okay, this is weird. Just out of nowhere, rash started itching and really fine bumps. So I went through most of March, and then towards the end of March, I went to a dermatologist and I said, listen, I have got these bumps on me. They're on my chest, they're on my upper arms. And he says, oh, okay, it just looks like whatever he called it, some type of allergy. So he told me to start taking Zyzol at night, Allegra non-drowsy during the day, and he gave me a cream to apply at night and during the day. So did that, and the rash went away. It took it about 2 weeks to go away. Rash went completely away. Y'all, that rash only stayed away for, um, let's say, about a week and a half. And then it came back, right? So then I noticed that my hair started feeling really, really dry. No matter how much oil I was putting on it, it kept getting drier and drier. I was like, huh, okay. So I changed my shampoo. I changed the product that I was using in my hair. Then I noticed, right? Then I noticed I started getting more itching. Yep, down there. I had a bacterial infection, cleared that up. 2 weeks later, had a yeast infection. I was like, why are these infections coming back to back? This is the month of April. I was like, why am I having these changes back to back to back? So then, once we cleared that up, then I started noticing again that the itching had come back. By this time, the itching had come back on my arms and my shoulders and everything. I was like, okay, something's not right. Well, let's fast forward. Got another yeast infection, and now here we are in May, right? And here we are. I'm trying to figure out what is actually going on. And I wake up on Saturday morning, and what you see on my face is what's been on my upper arms. And I'm like, okay, what are we doing? Y'all, I finally sat down and I realized all of these symptoms is one indication of a hormonal shift. That's it. So when we think of things in isolation, when we think of things happening in our lives in isolation, we may not be able to put everything together to say this is what's going on with us. But at this point in our lives, when we look at menopause, and I'm a member of a menopause group on Facebook. So when I put in what I have been experiencing, I got so many response from women going, oh, I've had this menopause rash for this long. Oh, I've had this for this long. I never knew there was such thing as a menopause rash. Yeah, Vernetta, I had done the research, I had been experiencing it. And once I put all of it together, it was me shifting. It was me shifting into another hormonal phase. And so now, this morning, I'll be making a phone call to my hormonal doctor because I do take bioidentical HRT. I will be making a phone call to my HRT doctor going, hey, I think it's time for another hormone test because when I look at all of these symptoms together, the deodorant not working anymore. I've had to switch my deodorants twice since March, right? I've also, as you can see, this rash has come upon me and it itches like crazy. And looking at it in isolation, you would think that it was my allergies. In looking at it in isolation, you would think that, oh, it's summertime and you know how your hair just gets a little dry in the summertime. No, when I looked at the bigger picture, I was able to see how things are coming together to indicate it may be a time for a hormonal shift. So we can't look at menopause like a one-time event. Like, oh, I have hot flashes. That's menopause. Oh, I have night sweats. That's menopause. No, when you look at all of your symptoms, because you may start menopause. Listen, I told y'all, Black women, we start menopause earlier, we stay in it longer, and our symptoms are more intense. So when you start menopause, when you start perimenopause, you have these symptoms. But it's not just the night sweats. It's not just the hormone. It's not just the hot flashes. It's not just. It's you have to look at it as a continuum. So don't be surprised when things start to show up and you're going, wait a minute, where's all this coming from? Take a moment, sit down. Like I told you, if I had not put my time in for myself this weekend, I would not have been able to put it all together to go, wait a minute, I think I'm having another shift. All of this is indicating to me there is something internal that's going on that's hormone related, and I need to step back and take a look at it. So, what I want to encourage you all to do is as you go through this menopause journey, don't look at your symptoms in isolation. Don't just go to a dermatologist because this shows up. Because listen, I tell y'all, the dermatologist is like, oh, it's just an allergic reaction. An allergic reaction to what? He's like, I don't know, but here you go. I want you to take these 2 pills and put this cream on. What? So now I'm adding pills that I don't necessarily need to take because it's not an allergic reaction. It could very possibly be that my estrogen has tanked pretty low now, and I need to get my hormone replacement cream. I need to increase my estrogen. So think about all of that, ladies, as you go through this midlife journey. I wanted you to see that I'm going through this firsthand. Can you see this rash on my face? Absolutely. It's itching like crazy, which could be allergies, but probably not because I have all that other stuff going on. I have the dry, brittle hair going on right now. I have the deodorant that I usually use, that I've always used, not working. I have the dry skin going on. And so when we take a look at all of that and we check some of the boxes, it could be an indication of a hormone shift. So I want to encourage you this morning to really, really, really start really paying attention to how you're feeling because that's so very important. We go to the doctor by the time, let me rephrase that. When you make the decision to go to the doctor, because some of y'all don't really go as often as you really should be going, when you make the decision to go to the doctor, you have got to learn how to advocate for yourself. You've got to be able to tell them because they don't know. They're as clueless could be when it comes to our bodies. And I do mean our bodies, how our bodies are responding to this menopause journey. Okay. They don't understand. They have studies, very small studies, because menopause is really, even though it's been around for millions of years, thousands of years, hundreds of years, they're really just starting to focus on it. And those studies that I've told you this time and time again, those studies don't include people who look like us. And so we're out here thinking we're going to the doctor to get relief. We're out here thinking we're going to the doctor to get answers. And they are just as clueless could be when it comes to us. So make sure you pay attention to yourselves. Make sure you learn how to advocate for yourself. When I meet with my doctor, when I call him this morning, I'm going to tell him, listen, I need a saliva test so we can go ahead and look and see what my hormone levels are now compared to July of last year. And let's make the adjustment now. Here are the symptoms that I am experiencing. And based on what I've been researching, this could be an indication that my estrogen is lower. I know for a fact that I've been stressed for the past month because I had my dad's birthday, I had Mother's Day, I had my husband's birthday, and this past weekend my nephew graduated. So I know for a fact I've been stressed, but stress even though stress is a huge indicator, a huge influence, not indicator, but a huge influence in our bodies, I should also be noticing that, some other things are going on. So, with that being said, you've got to learn how to open your mouth and advocate for yourself when it comes to your doctors. I was in a Facebook group just yesterday, and a young lady said she went to the doctor and she had lots and lots of vaginal itching. And you know what? She found out from her OBGYN. Yeah, let's just give you a pill and it'll take care of the itching. Wait, what? It will, but it doesn't solve the problem. It's going to come back again if you are having a hormonal shift. And so we have to sit down with ourselves and spend time with ourselves and really learn how to track these symptoms so that you can feel and be empowered when you go to the doctor. Ladies, I cannot stress that enough. Listen, our history, we already know that the doctors dismiss us when we go to the doctor. We already know that, listen, by the time we decide to go to the doctor, we've spent our wheels, we are at our wits' ends, and sometimes we are at the end of our rope. You've got to learn how to open your mouth. You've got to learn how to advocate for yourself. So that's my message to you this morning. It's not my usual daily spice, but I wanted to focus on the menopause because I wanted you all to see real time what I'm dealing with. So yeah, I got to get this taken care of this morning when I call the doctor, along with all of that other stuff I've already mentioned. I had to switch out my deodorant. I had to switch out my soap. Yep, we did a whole shift this weekend because I recognized, oh, wait, I'm going through another hormonal shift. And that's okay because it's a journey. We have to stop looking at menopause like an event. It is a spectrum, it is a journey that we go through. And here's the thing, it's going to happen just like it did when we were in adolescence. Y'all know how it felt when you first got your cycle and you were like, oh my God, what is this? 1 month it was one way, 1 month it was another way. This is the same thing, Nicole. And so we have to be gentle with ourselves. Listen, I forgot to also tell y'all, listen, 2 weeks ago, my husband, I wish he was here to tell you, 2 weeks ago, y'all, my energy was so low. It was crazy. Like by 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I was past E. Like I had nothing else to give. Oh, it was crazy. And so I even looked at that in isolation until this past weekend when I went, wait a minute. Those 2 weeks when my energy was tanking, I'm talking about tanking. Like I was past E. Like you couldn't even push my car to where it had to go. I was so empty. But now that I looked at it this past weekend in the whole picture, it was part of the hormonal shift because I was exhausted. I was beyond exhausted. So I just wanted to come on this morning to encourage you to track your symptoms. You know what? I will share with you all the tracker that I use for myself to be able to look at what I was doing and start tracking when it started for me back in March. Yep, I'll put that in the link. I'll link that later on today so you can actually get the tracker that I created for myself to kind of go, okay, here's what I'm noticing. So when I do call the doctor, when I do go to the doctor, I can say, this is when this symptom started. This is when this symptom started. This is when this symptom started. And now we can look at it holistically instead of looking at it in isolation. Does that make sense? All right, y'all. That is the morning daily spice. That is my inspiration to you this morning. Take care of yourself. You're not crazy. It's menopause. That's what it is, sis. All right, until tomorrow morning, remember to live life spicy, and I will see you with another episode of the Daily Spice tomorrow morning. Y'all have an amazing day today.